Section 1, Why Leg Strength Matters After 60. When I turned 60, something changed, not just in how I looked, but in how I moved. Tasks that used to feel automatic, getting up from a chair, climbing a short flight of stairs, stepping off the curb, suddenly felt like work. My legs felt wobbly, slower, and just a little less dependable. And I know I'm not alone in this. If you've noticed yourself struggling to walk as far as you used to, feeling unsteady when getting out of bed, or needing to hold on to furniture as you move around the house, you're not imagining it. These are some of the most common signs of age-related leg weakness. And the good news is, there's something we can do about it starting today. Let's talk about why leg strength matters so much after 60. As we age, we begin to lose muscle mass, a process called sarcopenia. It happens gradually, starting as early as our 30s, but it becomes much more noticeable after 60. The legs, especially the thighs and calves, tend to lose strength faster than other parts of the body. That's because we use them for almost everything: standing, walking, getting out of a car, even going to the bathroom. When our legs lose strength, other problems begin to show up: poor balance, slower walking speed, difficulty climbing stairs, and worst of all, an increased risk of falls. According to the CDC, 1 in 4 adults over 65 falls each year, and falls aren't just accidents, they're one of the leading causes of serious injury and hospital stays for older adults. Now, I don't say this to scare you, but to empower you. Because unlike some age-related issues that can't be reversed, leg strength is something you can rebuild. Your muscles are still there. They're just waiting to be reawakened. Let me share something personal. A few years ago, I was helping my granddaughter move into her college dorm. We had to carry some things up 2 flights of stairs. I was winded, my legs ached, and halfway up the second set, I had to stop and lean on the railing, embarrassed. That night, my knees throbbed, and I told myself, this is the last time I'm doing anything like that. But a few months later, after a health checkup, my doctor said something that changed my outlook. He looked me straight in the eye and said, "You don't have to get weaker. You can get stronger. You just need to start now." That lit a fire in me. And from that day forward, I made it my mission to strengthen my legs, not by lifting heavy weights or joining a gym, but by doing simple, consistent exercises right at home. And let me tell you, it works. After just a few weeks, I noticed my balance improving. I wasn't wobbling when I stood up. I could carry groceries without needing to rest every 10 steps. And most importantly, I felt more confident in my body. That fear of falling, it started to fade. Here's what I wish someone had told me earlier. Strong legs aren't just about movement. They're about independence. When your legs are strong, you walk more, you stay active, you get outside, you participate in life. Weak legs, on the other hand, often lead to isolation. You stop going out, you avoid family gatherings, you lose confidence, and that's not how anyone wants to spend their golden years. So how do we stop that decline? We take small intentional steps every day. We learn which muscles need strengthening. We warm up properly. We practice balance. We do exercises tailored to our needs, not generic gym routines for 25-year-olds, but movement that's safe and effective for those of us in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. This video is your step-by-step guide. We'll go through gentle warm-ups, strength-building movements, and balance-boosting exercises, all designed to be done at home without special equipment. I'll also show you how to stretch and recover so your joints stay happy and pain-free. Whether you're already active or just getting started, you can do this. Maybe you're someone who's been told you're too old to improve your strength. I'm here to tell you that's simply not true. I've seen people in their 80s start with barely enough strength to get up from a chair, and after a few months of focused movement, they're climbing stairs and walking around the block again. It's never too late. And don't worry, these exercises don't require fancy gym clothes or complicated moves. In fact, you can do most of them in your pajamas if you want. The goal isn't to impress anyone. It's to reclaim your mobility, your confidence, and your quality of life. Throughout this video, I'll guide you like a friend. I'll break down each move, explain what muscles it targets, and offer tips to keep your knees and joints protected. I'll even show you how to modify every movement so it works for your body, no matter your current ability. If you've been frustrated, discouraged, or afraid to move more because you thought it might make things worse, this is your fresh start. Because here's the truth, movement is medicine, and your legs, your beautiful, hardworking legs, deserve all the strength and care you can give them. So let's get started. Section 2, Warm-Up and Balance Boosters. Now that we understand why leg strength is vital after 60, let's ease into the journey with the most important step, warming up and finding your balance again. Before we even think about building muscle or doing any kind of repetition, our body needs to feel safe. Our joints need lubrication, our circulation needs a boost, and our brain needs a chance to reconnect with how movement feels. That's why warming up is not just a suggestion, it's a necessity, especially as we get older. Let me take you back to a moment that taught me this the hard way. One morning, I skipped my warm-up routine and went straight into some chair squats. Halfway through the second set, I felt a little pop in my knee. Not a sharp pain, but enough to make me stop. That was my wake-up call. Now I never skip the prep. So let's walk through what a proper warm-up looks like for aging legs. Step 1, seated marching. Start by sitting in a sturdy chair with your back straight and feet flat on the ground. Gently lift one knee toward your chest, then lower it. Now the other knee. Go slowly. Alternate sides for 30 seconds. This may seem simple, but it does wonders for activating your hip flexors, waking up your core, and getting blood flowing to the thighs. This is the exercise I always recommend for people just starting out, especially those with joint pain or low mobility. It's safe, it's low impact, and you can feel your legs engaging right away. Step 2, ankle rolls and toe taps. While still seated, extend one leg and gently roll your ankle in slow circles 5 times each direction, then switch. This warms up the joints that connect to your knees and hips. After the rolls, tap your toes on the floor quickly for about 15 seconds to stimulate circulation in your lower legs. These little movements go a long way in preventing stiffness, especially if you've been sitting for long periods. Step 3, standing heel raises. Now stand behind your chair and hold onto the back for support. Slowly rise up onto your tiptoes, hold for a second, then lower back down. Repeat this for 10 to 12 repetitions. This warms up your calves and ankles, improves circulation, and also gently activates your balance. You'd be amazed how often people underestimate the importance of calf strength. Strong calves help stabilize your knees and improve how you push off when walking. Step 4, gentle march in place. Now that your ankles and calves are warmed up, try marching in place slowly for 30 seconds. Keep the chair nearby just in case. Focus on posture, shoulders back, chin up, core slightly engaged. Imagine you're walking down a hallway with confidence. That's what we're working toward. Once you're warm, it's time to address balance, a skill that tends to decline with age but is fully trainable. Balance isn't just about standing still. It's about your brain learning how to stabilize you in motion. It's about reflexes, posture, and leg strength working in harmony. Let me introduce you to a few exercises that target balance directly and can be done with or without support. Exercise 1, single leg stand with chair. Stand behind a chair, hands on the backrest. Lift one foot an inch or two off the floor and try to balance on the standing leg. Hold for 10 seconds, then switch sides. If this is difficult, keep your toes just barely brushing the ground or lightly touch the chair for stability. When I first tried this, I could barely stay up for 5 seconds, but with consistency, I built up to 20, then 30 seconds. It's not about being perfect, it's about being better than yesterday. Exercise 2, tandem stand. Stand with one foot directly in front of the other, heel touching toe, like you're walking on a tightrope. Hold the position for 15-30 seconds, then switch feet. If needed, stand near a wall for support. This exercise strengthens your stabilizer muscles and retrains your brain to stay upright when your stance narrows, just like it might when you're stepping over a curb or walking on uneven ground. Exercise 3, side-to-side shifts. With your feet shoulder width apart and knees slightly bent, shift your weight from one leg to the other slowly. As you shift, lift the opposite foot slightly off the ground. This improves coordination and trains your legs to support body weight evenly. It may look like a dance, and honestly, that's part of the fun. I've known people who turn this into a little morning routine with music, and it makes the whole thing more enjoyable. These exercises might feel modest, but they lay the foundation for everything that comes next, and more importantly, they protect you. You see, the number one cause of injury in seniors is falling, and the root cause of most falls? Poor balance, weak ankles, unprepared muscles. That's why building strength without building balance is like building a house on sand. It doesn't last. The good news? These movements are so gentle, you can do them every single day. In fact, I encourage it. Think of them as your morning mobility medicine, no prescription required. Let me tell you about Helen, one of my neighbors. She's 72 and had trouble walking without using the wall. After starting with just 5 minutes of balance exercises a day, she was able to walk confidently to the mailbox without assistance in under a month. It wasn't magic, it was movement. Daily, doable, and safe. So whether you're working with a lot of strength or just starting from a shaky foundation, warming up and practicing balance is how we build that confidence back. It's how we protect ourselves, move better, and prepare for everything else we'll cover in this video. Next up, we'll dive into the real work. Strength building exercises for your legs that you can do at home without any expensive gear. But before we go there, do today's warm up, try 1 or 2 balance moves, and pay attention to how your legs feel afterward. That connection, that's you getting stronger already. Section 3, top strength building exercises you can do at home. Now that your body is warmed up and your balance is improving, it's time to build real strength in your legs, the kind of strength that helps you walk longer, stand taller, and move through life without fear. You might think building leg strength requires fancy gym equipment, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Some of the most powerful, effective leg exercises can be done right in your living room using just a chair, a wall, and maybe a rolled up towel or small pillow. The key is consistency and good form, not heavy weights. Let's start with one of my favorite moves, the chair squat. Chair squat, stand in front of a sturdy chair, feet shoulder width apart, and slowly lower yourself down as if you're about to sit. Just before you touch the chair, stand back up. That's 1 rep. This simple motion mimics exactly what you do every day. Getting up from the toilet, rising from the couch, stepping out of the car, and if you can do 10, 15 of these with control, you're already ahead of the game. Here's a tip. If that feels too hard, use your hands on your thighs to help. If it's too easy, try holding a small pillow in front of you to engage your core as well. I remember starting with just 5 reps, my knees wobbled and my thighs burned, but within a couple of weeks I could do 15 comfortably. That's the power of doing a little often. Standing leg extensions next up is one of the safest and easiest ways to target the muscles on the front of your thighs, your quadriceps. Stand behind your chair, holding the back for support. Slowly lift one foot straight out in front of you, keeping the leg as straight as possible, then lower it. Do this 10 times per leg. This move doesn't require a full range of motion or speed. It's about muscle activation, reminding your body that these leg muscles still work and can grow stronger. I've recommended this to people recovering from knee surgery, and they often say it helps them regain control over their legs faster than anything else. Heel raises, you may recognize this from the warm-up section, but now we'll go deeper. Stand behind your chair again and rise up onto your toes, lifting your heels off the ground. Pause for a second at the top, then lower down slowly. Try 15 reps. To increase difficulty, hold onto a countertop and do the exercise with only one foot at a time. Strong calves not only stabilize your ankle joints, but also help with circulation, which can reduce that heavy leg feeling many seniors experience after sitting for a long time. This one became my go-to exercise while brushing my teeth or waiting for the kettle to boil. Side leg raises. Now let's strengthen your hips, key muscles for walking and preventing side-to-side wobble. Stand beside your chair, hold it with one hand, and slowly lift your outer leg to the side. Don't lean. Keep your upper body tall. Do 10 to 12 reps, then switch sides. This move helps with lateral stability, which is important for navigating uneven sidewalks, stepping off curbs, or simply keeping balance while moving around the house. If you've ever stepped sideways and felt unsteady, this exercise is for you. Wall sits, this one is slightly more challenging, but it's a fantastic way to build endurance and strength. Stand with your back against a wall and slowly slide down until your knees are slightly bent, no lower than a 90-degree angle. Hold for 10 to 30 seconds depending on your strength, then slide back up. Don't worry if you can't do this at first. Start with 5 seconds. Next week, try 10. Over time, your thighs will feel stronger, your knees more stable, and your confidence higher. I remember using a kitchen timer and increasing my time by just 3 seconds a day. It added up faster than I expected. Let me share a story about my friend Dan. He's 68 and had been avoiding stairs for years after a fall at his workplace. He told me he didn't trust his legs. After doing these 5 exercises every other day for a month, he called me and said, I took the stairs yesterday on purpose just to see if I could, and I did. That's not just physical strength, that's life-changing confidence. And the truth is, these exercises don't just work your muscles. They improve blood flow, strengthen bones, and support your joints too. Your knees and hips will thank you. Here's a quick daily circuit you can try. 10 chair squats, 10 standing leg extensions per leg, 15 heel raises, 10 side leg raises per leg, 1 wall sit, hold as long as you comfortably can. Repeat the circuit 1 to 2 times if you have the energy. If not, start with 1 round and build up slowly. Don't forget to breathe through each movement, take breaks as needed, and drink water. If something feels painful, not just uncomfortable, stop and talk to your doctor before continuing. And above all, celebrate your effort. Every rep you do is a vote for your future mobility. Because when you strengthen your legs, you're not just training muscles, you're reclaiming freedom. You're saying, I want to keep walking, I want to stand tall, I want to move with purpose. That's the real goal here, and you're already on your way. Section 4, stretching and recovery to protect joints. Now that we've built up some strength, it's time to talk about something equally important, recovery. You see, most people focus on movement and muscle building, but they forget that stretching and joint protection are the secret weapons that keep our legs feeling mobile, loose, and pain-free. Especially after 60, our joints don't have the same natural lubrication they used to, and our muscles take longer to recover. That's where stretching comes in. Think of it as the cool down your body craves, the way you say thank you to your legs after they've worked hard for you. I used to skip stretching. I thought I'm not an athlete. I don't need to do all that. But then I started waking up stiff. My knees clicked more. My hamstrings felt tight when I stood up. That's when I realized stretching wasn't optional. It was maintenance. Let me walk you through a few stretches that I now do after every leg workout. And honestly, even on rest days when I just want to feel a little more limber. Seated hamstring stretch. Sit on the edge of a chair, extend one leg straight out in front of you, heel on the floor, toes pointing up. Keep your back straight and gently lean forward until you feel a stretch along the back of your thigh. Hold for 20 or 30 seconds, then switch legs. This stretch lengthens the hamstring, a muscle group that often shortens from sitting too much. When it's tight, it pulls on your lower back and throws off your posture. A good friend of mine, Nancy, swears this stretch fixed her lower back pain. She does it every morning before brushing her teeth. Calf stretch against the wall. Stand a few feet away from a wall. Step 1 foot back, keeping it straight and heel on the floor. Bend your front knee slightly and lean forward into the wall until you feel a stretch in your back calf. Hold for 20-30 seconds, then switch. Calf tightness is a sneaky cause of leg cramps and foot pain. If you've ever had that sharp tightness in your arch or heel when stepping out of bed in the morning, this is the stretch for you. Knee to chest stretch. While lying on your back, on a yoga mat or firm mattress, pull one knee gently toward your chest. Hold for 20-30 seconds, keeping your other leg extended. Switch sides. This helps release tension in the lower back and hip flexors. Great for anyone who experiences stiffness after long periods of sitting. If getting on the floor is difficult, you can do a gentler version in bed before sleep. I often do it while watching the news before lights out. Standing quad stretch, hold onto a chair or wall for balance. Bend one knee and bring your foot up toward your backside. Hold your ankle with your hand and gently pull it closer until you feel a stretch in the front of your thigh. Hold 20-30 seconds, then switch legs. This stretch is great for realigning your hips and easing knee pressure. It's especially helpful after strength workouts involving squats or leg lifts. If reaching your foot is difficult, you can loop a towel or resistance band around your ankle to assist. Ankle circles and foot flexes. While seated or lying down, extend one leg and rotate your ankle slowly in both directions, then flex and point your toes a few times. These are small but powerful movements. They increase circulation, reduce swelling in the feet, and keep the connective tissues around your ankles pliable. I do this while reading or even during phone calls. It's that easy to work in. But stretching isn't the only part of recovery. Let's talk about joint care. If you're like me, you've probably had some creaky knees or occasional swelling after exercise. That doesn't mean you should stop. It just means your joints need a little extra love. Here's what helps. Hydration. Muscles and joints are 70% water. If you're dehydrated, they stiffen up. Make it a habit to drink a glass of water after every exercise session, even light ones. Epsom salt baths. Once or twice a week, I soak my legs in warm water with Epsom salt for 15 to 20 minutes. The magnesium relaxes my muscles and reduces inflammation. Cold packs for swelling. If your knees puff up after walking, try a cold compress for 10 to 15 minutes. It helps reduce inflammation and keep soreness in check. Gentle massage. You don't need a professional massage therapist. Just use your hands or a foam roller to gently knead tight areas around your thighs and calves. This improves blood flow and breaks up tight muscle knots. Rest days are productive days. You don't need to exercise hard every day to build strength. Active recovery, like stretching, light walking, or even yoga, is more beneficial for long-term mobility than pushing your body 7 days a week. I've learned that the real transformation doesn't happen during the workout. It happens after. It's the stretching, the breathing, the listening to your body when it whispers instead of waiting until it screams. I used to think stiffness and soreness were signs of aging I had to accept, but now I understand they're signs of under recovery, of muscles asking for a little help. And when I give them that help, they reward me with energy, comfort, and a steady stride the next morning. There's no shame in needing to slow down to stretch. In fact, I'd argue it's the most respectful thing you can do for your body. So before we dive into how to build your weekly routine in Section 5, I encourage you pick just 2 or 3 of these stretches to do tonight. Breathe slowly, let your body sink into them, feel the difference, because strength without flexibility is like a river without water. It might have shape, but it won't flow. Recovery is where we heal, it's where we grow, and it's where our legs remember that they were made to move freely at any age. Section 5, build your weekly leg plan plus real results. By now, you've warmed up your legs, built real strength, and added stretching to protect your joints. You've done the hard work. Now it's time to put it all together into a daily and weekly plan that fits your life. This isn't about becoming a bodybuilder or training like an athlete. It's about creating a rhythm, an easy to follow leg routine that works with your energy, your space, and your lifestyle. Let's start with a simple weekly schedule. If you're just beginning, aim for 3 days a week. If you've already been moving a bit, 5 days is fantastic. Every plan should have a mix of warm-up, strength, balance, stretching, and recovery. Here's a sample plan I've used myself. Weekly leg strength plan for Seniors Day 1, activation and strength. Seated march, 1 minute. Chair squats, 10 reps. Standing leg extensions, 10 reps per leg. Heel raises, 15 reps. Side leg raises, 10 reps per leg. Stretch, seated hamstring plus calf wall stretch. Day 2, balance and flexibility focus. Single leg stand, 2x per leg, 10-20 sec each. Tandem stand, 2 rounds, hold 30 sec. Side to side shifts, 10 reps each side. Toe taps and ankle circles, 1 min 10. Stretch, quad stretch plus knee to chest. Day 3, rest or gentle walk. 20-minute walk at comfortable pace. Optional 5-minute stretch routine. Hydration focus, at least 6 to 8 glasses of water. Day 4, core strength plus legs. Chair squats, 2 sets of 10. Heel raises, 15 reps. Wall sit hold for 20-30 sec. Core engaged marching, 1 minute. Stretch, full lower body routine, 4 to 5 minutes. Day 5, balance and light strength. Tandem stand at 3x per leg. Side leg raises, 10 reps. Standing leg extensions, 10 reps. Heel raises, 10 reps. Stretch, calf plus hamstring plus quad. Day 6, recovery focus. Epsom salt soak or warm bath. 5 minutes ankle, hip, and knee mobility stretches. Light walk around the block. Hydration and protein-rich snack. Day 7, optional movement. Gentle yoga, tai chi, or a walk with a friend. Leg massage or foam rolling. Write down your progress. You might be thinking, that's a lot, and yes, it might look like that on paper, but once you try it for a week, you'll realize how doable it really is. Some sessions will take just 15 to 20 minutes. And if you miss a day, don't beat yourself up. Just pick it up the next. Consistency beats perfection every time. Let me tell you about George. He's 74 and had stopped walking to the store because his legs would give out halfway there. He started with 3 exercises, just 3, and tracked them on his fridge with a little calendar. After a month, he was walking confidently to the store and back. Now he bikes with his grandson on the weekends. Or Clara, who was afraid to leave her house after falling in her kitchen. She followed this plan for 2 months, using a chair for support the whole time. Now she's not only more mobile, she's more independent. That's what real leg strength gives you, freedom. Let's talk about how to track your progress, because that's where motivation lives. Progress tracking ideas. Use a simple notebook or calendar to mark on days you complete your routine. Count how long you can hold a wall sit or single leg stand week to week. Measure how many squats you can do before needing to rest. Write down one thing that felt easier each week: climbing stairs, getting up, balance while dressing. Over time, these small wins build your confidence, and confidence leads to more movement. It becomes a cycle of strength, not just physical, but emotional too. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. Invite a friend to do the routine with you. Join a senior center movement group. Share your journey with your family. They'll cheer you on. Some of the most successful people I've seen stay consistent simply because someone checked in once a week. Also, don't forget the recovery habits from earlier: water, stretching, rest, and magnesium-rich foods like bananas, pumpkin seeds, or leafy greens. Strength is built not just in the workout, but between workouts. As I close this video, let me leave you with this. Strong legs don't just carry you, they carry your life. They help you rise, walk, play, explore, cook, garden, dance, and hug your grandkids without fear of falling. You're not too old, you're not too late, and you don't need permission to start. If you made it this far, you've already taken the most important step. You said yes to yourself. So lace up your shoes or stay barefoot, pull up a chair, play your favorite music, and start moving. Because every rep is a reminder you're still in charge of your body, you're still strong, and you've still got miles to go with confidence, comfort, and care. Let's move forward one strong step at a time.